Book of Exodus. Chapter 26. Moreover you shall make the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine woven linen and blue, purple and scarlet thread, with artistic designs of cherubim you shall weave them. The length of each curtain shall be 28 cubits, and the width of each curtain 4 cubits. And every one of the curtains shall have the same measurements. 5 curtains shall be coupled to one another, and the other 5 curtains shall be coupled to one another. And you shall make loops of blue yarn on the edge of the curtain on the selvage of one set, and likewise you shall do on the outer edge of the other curtain of the second set. 50 loops you shall make in the one curtain, and 50 loops you shall make on the edge of the curtain that is on the end of the second set, that the loops may be clasped to one another. And you shall make 50 hooks of gold, and couple the curtains together with the hooks, so that it may be one tabernacle. You shall also make curtains of goat's hair to be a tent over the tabernacle. You shall make 11 curtains. The length of each curtain shall be 30 cubits, and the width of each curtain 4 cubits, and the 11 curtains shall all have the same measurements. And you shall couple 5 curtains by themselves and 6 curtains by themselves, and you shall double over the 6th curtain at the forefront of the tabernacle. You shall make 50 loops on the edge of the curtain that is outermost in one set, and 50 loops on the edge of the curtain of the second set. And you shall make 50 bronze hooks, put the hooks into the loops, and couple the tent together, that it may be one. The remnant that remains of the curtains of the tent, the half curtain that remains, shall hang over the back of the tabernacle. And a cubit on one side, and a cubit on the other side, of what remains of the length of the curtains of the tent shall hang over the sides of the tabernacle on this side, and on that side, to cover it. You shall also make a covering of ram skins dyed red for the tent, and a covering of badger skins above that. And for the tabernacle you shall make the boards of acacia wood standing upright. 10 cubits shall be the length of a board, and a cubit and a half shall be the width of each board. 2 tenons shall be in each board for binding one to another. Thus you shall make for all the boards of the tabernacle. And you shall make the boards for the tabernacle, 20 boards for the south side. You shall make 40 sockets of silver under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under each of the boards for its 2 tenons. And for the second side of the tabernacle, the north side, there shall be 20 boards. And there 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under each of the boards. For the far side of the tabernacle westward, you shall make 6 boards. And you shall also make 2 boards for the 2 back corners of the tabernacle. They shall be coupled together at the bottom, and they shall be coupled together at the top by 1 ring. Thus it shall be for both of them. They shall be for the 2 corners. So there shall be 8 boards with their sockets of silver, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under each of the boards. And you shall make bars of acacia wood 5 for the boards on one side of the tabernacle, 5 bars for the boards on the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the side of the tabernacle, for the far side westward. The middle bar shall pass through the midst of the boards from end to end. You shall overlay the boards with gold, make their rings of gold as holders for the bars, and overlay the bars with gold. And you shall raise up the tabernacle according to its pattern, which you were shown on the mountain. You shall make a veil woven of blue, purple and scarlet thread and fine woven linen. It shall be woven with an artistic design of cherubim. You shall hang it upon the 4 pillars of acacia wood overlaid with gold. Their hooks shall be gold, upon 4 sockets of silver. And you shall hang the veil from the hooks. Then you shall bring the ark of the testimony in there behind the veil. The veil shall be a divider for you between the set-apart place and the most set apart. You shall put the mercy seat upon the ark of the testimony in the most set-apart place. You shall set the table outside the veil, and the lampstand across from the table on the side of the tabernacle toward the south, and you shall put the table on the north side. You shall make a screen for the door of the tabernacle woven of blue, purple and scarlet thread and fine woven linen, made by a weaver. And you shall make for the screen 5 pillars of acacia wood, and overlay them with gold. Their hooks shall be gold, and you shall cast 5 sockets of bronze for them. Chapter 27. You shall make an altar of acacia wood 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. The altar shall be square, and its height shall be 3 cubits. You shall make its horns on its 4 corners, its horns shall be of one piece with it. And you shall overlay it with bronze. Also you shall make its pans to receive its ashes, and its shovels and its basins, and its forks and its firepans. You shall make all its utensils of bronze. You shall make a grate for it, a network of bronze, and on the network you shall make 4 bronze rings at its 4 corners. You shall put it under the rim of the altar beneath, that the network may be midway up the altar. And you shall make poles for the altar, poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with bronze. The poles shall be put in the rings, and the poles shall be on the 2 sides of the altar to bear it. You shall make it hollow with boards, as it was shown you on the mountain, so shall they make it. You shall also make the court of the tabernacle. For the south side there shall be hangings for the court made of fine woven linen, 100 cubits long for one side. And its 20 pillars, and their 20 sockets shall be bronze. The hooks of the pillars and their bands shall be silver. Likewise along the length of the north side there shall be hangings 100 cubits long with its 20 pillars, and their 20 sockets of bronze, and the hooks of the pillars and their bands of silver. And along the width of the court on the west side shall be hangings of 50 cubits, with their 10 pillars and their 10 sockets. The width of the court on the east side shall be 50 cubits. The hangings on one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits, with their 3 pillars and their 3 sockets. And on the other side shall be hangings of 15 cubits, with their 3 pillars and their 3 sockets. For the gate of the court there shall be a screen 20 cubits long woven of blue, purple and scarlet thread and fine woven linen, made by a weaver. It shall have 4 pillars and 4 sockets. All the pillars around the court shall have bands of silver, their hooks shall be of silver, and their sockets of bronze. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, the width 50 throughout, and the height 5 cubits, made of fine woven linen, and its sockets of bronze. All the utensils of the tabernacle for all its service, all its pegs, and all the pegs of the court, shall be of bronze. And you shall command the children of Yashar'al that they bring you pure oil of pressed olives for the light, to cause the lamp to burn continually. In the tabernacle of meeting, outside the veil which is before the testimony, Aaron and his sons shall tend it from evening until morning before YAHUAH. It shall be a statute forever to their generations on behalf of the children of Yashar'al. Chapter 28. Now take Aaron your brother, and his sons with him from among the children of Yashar'al that he may minister to me as priest, Aaron and Aaron's sons. Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. And you shall make set-apart garments for Aharon your brother, for esteem and for beauty. So you shall speak to all who are gifted artisans whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom that they may make Aaron's garments to purify him that he may minister to me as priest. And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate, an ephod, a robe, a skillfully woven tunic, a turban, and a sash. So they shall make set-apart garments for Aaron your brother and his sons that he may minister to me as priest. They shall take the gold, blue, purple and scarlet thread, and the fine linen. And they shall make the ephod of gold, blue, purple and scarlet thread and fine woven linen artistically worked. It shall have 2 shoulder straps joined at its 2 edges, and so it shall be joined together. And the intricately woven band of the ephod, which is on it, shall be of the same workmanship, made of gold, blue, purple and scarlet thread and fine woven linen. Then you shall take 2 onyx stones, and engrave on them the names of the sons of Yashar'al, 6 of their names on one stone, and 6 names on the other stone, in order of their birth. With the work of an engraver in stone, like the engravings of a signet, you shall engrave the 2 stones with the names of the sons of Yashar'al. You shall set them in settings of gold. And you shall put the 2 stones on the shoulders of the ephod as memorial stones for the sons of Yashar'al. So Aaron shall bear their names before YAHUAH on his 2 shoulders as a memorial. You shall also make settings of gold. And you shall make 2 chains of pure gold like braided cords, and fasten the braided chains to the settings. You shall make the breastplate of judgment. Artistically woven according to the workmanship of the ephod you shall make it, of gold, blue, purple and scarlet thread and fine woven linen, you shall make it. It shall be doubled into a square, a span shall be its length, and a span shall be its width. And you shall put settings of stones in it, 4 rows of stones. The first row shall be a sardius, a topaz, and an emerald, this shall be the first row. The second row shall be a turquoise, a sapphire, and a diamond. The third row, a jacinth, an agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row, a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be set in gold settings. And the stones shall have the names of the sons of Yashar'al, 12 according to their names, like the engravings of a signet. Each one with its own name, they shall be according to the 12 tribes. You shall make chains for the breastplate at the end, like braided cords of pure gold. And you shall make 2 rings of gold for the breastplate, and put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. Then you shall put the 2 braided chains of gold in the 2 rings which are on the ends of the breastplate. And the other 2 ends of the 2 braided chains you shall fasten to the 2 settings, and put them on the shoulder straps of the ephod in the front. You shall make 2 rings of gold, and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate on the edge of it, which is on the inner side of the ephod. And 2 other rings of gold you shall make, and put them on the 2 shoulder straps. Underneath the ephod toward its front, right at the seam above the intricately woven band of the ephod. They shall bind the breastplate by means of its rings to the rings of the ephod, using a blue cord, so that it is above the intricately woven band of the ephod, and so that the breastplate does not come loose from the ephod. So Aaron shall bear the names of the sons of Yashar'al on the breastplate of judgment over his heart when he goes into the set-apart place as a memorial before YAHUAH continually. And you shall put in the breastplate of judgment the Urim and the Thummim. And they shall be over Aaron's heart when he goes in before YAHUAH. So Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Yashar'al over his heart before YAHUAH continually. You shall make the robe of the ephod olive blue. There shall be an opening for his head in the middle of it, it shall have a woven binding all around its opening, like the opening in a coat of mail, so that it does not tear. And upon its hem you shall make pomegranates of blue, purple and scarlet all around its hem, and bells of gold between them all around. A golden bell and a pomegranate, a golden bell and a pomegranate upon the hem of the robe all around. And it shall be upon Aaron when he ministers, and its sound will be heard when he goes into the set-apart place before YAHUAH, and when he comes out, that he may not die. You shall also make a plate of pure gold, and engrave on it, like the engraving of a signet, Kodesh to YAHUAH. And you shall put it on a blue cord, that it may be on the turban, it shall be on the front of the turban. So it shall be on Aaron's forehead, that Aaron may bear the iniquity of the set-apart things which the children of Yashar'al purify in all their set-apart gifts. And it shall always be on his forehead, that they may be accepted before YAHUAH. You shall skillfully weave the tunic of fine linen thread, you shall make the turban of fine linen, and you shall make the sash of woven work. For Aaron's sons you shall make tunics, and you shall make sashes for them. And you shall make hats for them, for esteem and beauty. So you shall put them on Aaron your brother, and on his sons with him. You shall anoint them, consecrate them and purify them, that they may minister to me as priests. And you shall make for them linen trousers to cover their nakedness, they shall reach from the waist to the thighs. They shall be on Aaron and on his sons when they come into the tabernacle of meeting, or when they come near the altar to minister in the set-apart place, that they do not incur iniquity and die. It shall be a statute forever to him and his descendants after him. Chapter 29. And this is what you shall do to them to purify them for ministering to me as priests: take 1 young bull, and 2 rams without blemish. And unleavened bread, unleavened cakes mixed with oil, and unleavened wafers anointed with oil, you shall make them of wheat flour. You shall put them in 1 basket, and bring them in the basket with the bull and the 2 rams. And Aaron and his sons you shall bring to the door of the tabernacle of meeting, and you shall wash them with water. Then you shall take the garments, and put the tunic on Aaron, and the robe of the ephod and the breastplate, and gird him with the intricately woven band of the ephod. You shall put the turban on his head, and put the set-apart crown on the turban. And you shall take the anointing oil, pour it on his head, and anoint him. Then you shall bring his sons and put tunics on them. And you shall gird them with sashes, Aaron and his sons, and put the hats on them. The priesthood shall be theirs for a perpetual statute. So you shall consecrate Aaron and his sons. You shall also have the bull brought before the tabernacle of meeting, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands on the head of the bull. Then you shall kill the bull before YAHUAH by the door of the tabernacle of meeting. You shall take some of the blood of the bull, and put it on the horns of the altar with your finger, and pour all the blood beside the base of the altar. And you shall take all the fat that covers the entrails, the fatty lobe attached to the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them, and burn them on the altar. But the flesh of the bull with its skin and its offal, you shall burn with fire outside the camp. It is a sin offering. You shall also take 1 ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands on the head of the ram. And you shall kill the ram, and you shall take its blood, and sprinkle it all around on the altar. Then you shall cut the ram in pieces, wash its entrails, and its legs, and put them with its pieces and with its head. And you shall burn the whole ram on the altar. It is a burnt offering to YAHUAH, it is a sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to YAHUAH. You shall also take the other ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands on the head of the ram. Then you shall kill the ram, and take some of its blood, and put it on the tip of the right ear of Aaron, and on the tip of the right ear of his sons, on the thumb of their right hand, and on the big toe of their right foot, and sprinkle the blood all around on the altar. And you shall take some of the blood that is on the altar, and some of the anointing oil, and sprinkle it on Aaron, and on his garments, on his sons, and on the garments of his sons with him. And he and his garments shall be purified, and his sons' garments with him. Also you shall take the fat of the ram, the fat tail, the fat that covers the entrails, the fatty lobe attached to the liver, the 2 kidneys and the fat on them, the right thigh, for it is a ram of consecration. 1 loaf of bread, 1 cake made with oil, and 1 wafer from the basket of the unleavened bread that is before YAHUAH. And you shall put all these in the hands of Aaron and in the hands of his sons, and you shall wave them as a wave offering before YAHUAH. You shall receive them back from their hands and burn them on the altar as a burnt offering, as a sweet aroma before YAHUAH. It is an offering made by fire to YAHUAH. Then you shall take the breast of the ram of Aaron's consecration, and wave it as a wave offering before YAHUAH, and it shall be your portion. And from the ram of the consecration you shall consecrate the breast of the wave offering which is waved, and the thigh of the heave offering which is raised, of that which is for Aaron, and of that which is for his sons. It shall be from the children of Yashar'al for Aaron and his sons by a statute forever. For it is a heave offering, it shall be a heave offering from the children of Yashar'al from the sacrifices of their peace offerings, that is their heave offering to YAHUAH. And the set-apart garments of Aaron shall be his sons after him, to be anointed in them, and to be consecrated in them. That son who becomes priest in his place shall put them on for 7 days, when he enters the tabernacle of meeting to minister in the set-apart place. And you shall take the ram of the consecration, and boil its flesh in the set-apart place. Then Aaron and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram, and the bread that is in the basket by the door of the tabernacle of meeting. They shall eat those things by which the atonement was made, to consecrate and to purify them, but an outsider shall not eat them, because they are set apart. And if any of the flesh of the consecration offerings or of the bread remains until the morning, then you shall burn the remainder with fire. It shall not be eaten, because it is set apart. Thus you shall do to Aaron and his sons, according to all that I have commanded you. 7 days you shall consecrate them. And you shall offer a bull every day as a sin offering for atonement. You shall cleanse the altar when you make atonement for it, and you shall anoint it to purify it. 7 days you shall make atonement for the altar and purify it. And the altar shall be most set apart. Whatever touches the altar must be set apart. Now this is what you shall offer on the altar: 2 lambs of the first year, day by day continually. 1 lamb you shall offer in the morning, and the other lamb you shall offer at evening. With the one lamb shall be 1/10 of an ephah of flour mixed with 1/4 of a hin of pressed oil, and 1/4 of a hin of wine as a drink offering. And the other lamb you shall offer at evening, and you shall offer with it the grain offering and the drink offering, as in the morning for a sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to YAHUAH. This shall be a continual burnt offering throughout your generations at the door of the tabernacle of meeting before YAHUAH, where I will meet you to speak with you. And there I will meet with the children of Yashar'al, and the tabernacle shall be purified by my esteem. So I will consecrate the tabernacle of meeting, and the altar. I will also consecrate both Aaron and his sons to minister to me as priests. I will dwell among the children of Yashar'al, and will be their Elohim. And they shall know that I am YAHUAH their Elohim, who brought them up out of the land of Egypt, that I may dwell among them. I am YAHUAH their Elohim. Chapter 30. You shall make an altar to burn incense on. You shall make it of acacia wood. A cubit shall be its length, and a cubit its width. It shall be square, and 2 cubits shall be its height. Its horns shall be of one piece with it. And you shall overlay its top, its sides all around, and its horns with pure gold, and you shall make for it a molding of gold all around. 2 gold rings you shall make for it, under the molding on both its sides. You shall place them on its 2 sides, and they will be holders for the poles with which to bear it. You shall make the poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with gold. And you shall put it before the veil, that is before the ark of the testimony, before the mercy seat that is over the testimony, where I will meet with you. And Aaron shall burn on it sweet incense every morning when he tends the lamps, he shall burn incense on it. And when Aaron lights the lamps at evening, he shall burn incense on it, a perpetual incense before YAHUAH throughout your generations. You shall not offer strange incense on it, or a burnt offering, or a grain offering, nor shall you pour a drink offering on it. And Aaron shall make atonement upon its horns once a year with the blood of the sin offering of atonement. Once a year he shall make atonement upon it throughout your generations. It is most set apart to YAHUAH. Then YAHUAH spoke to Moses, saying, When you take the census of the children of Yashar'al for their number, then every man shall give a ransom for himself to YAHUAH. When you number them, that there may be no plague among them when you number them. This is what everyone among those who are numbered shall give, half a shekel according to the shekel of the sanctuary. A shekel is 20 gerahs. The half shekel shall be an offering to YAHUAH. Everyone included among those who are numbered, from 20 years old and above, shall give an offering to YAHUAH. The rich shall not give more, and the poor shall not give less than half a shekel when you give an offering to YAHUAH to make an atonement for your souls. And you shall take the atonement money of the children of Yashar'al, and shall appoint it for the service of the tabernacle of meeting, that it may be a memorial for the children of Yashar'al before YAHUAH, to make an atonement for your souls. Then YAHUAH spoke to Moses, saying, You shall also make a laver of bronze, with its base also of bronze for washing. You shall put it between the tabernacle of meeting and the altar. And you shall put water in it. For Aaron and his sons shall wash their hands and their feet in water from it. When they go into the tabernacle of meeting, or when they come near the altar to minister to burn an offering made by fire to YAHUAH, they shall wash with water lest they die. So they shall wash their hands and their feet lest they die. And it shall be a statute forever to them, to him and his descendants throughout their generations. Moreover, YAHUAH spoke to Moses, saying, Also take for yourself quality spices, 500 shekels of liquid myrrh, half as much sweet-smelling cinnamon, 250 shekels, and 250 shekels of sweet-smelling cane, 500 shekels of cassia, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, and a hin of olive oil. And you shall make from these a set-apart anointing oil, an ointment compounded according to the art of the perfumer. It shall be a set-apart anointing oil. With it you shall anoint the tabernacle of meeting, and the ark of the testimony, the table and all its utensils, the lampstand and its utensils, and the altar of incense, the altar of burnt offering with all its utensils, and the laver and its base. You shall consecrate them, that they may be most set apart. Whatever touches them must be set apart. And you shall anoint Aaron and his sons and consecrate them, that they may minister to me as priests. And you shall speak to the children of Yashar'al, saying, This shall be a set-apart anointing oil to me throughout your generations. It shall not be poured on man's flesh. Nor shall you make any other like it, according to its composition. It is set apart, and it shall be set apart to you. Whoever compounds any like it, or whoever puts any of it on an outsider, shall be cut off from his people. And YAHUAH said to Moses, Take sweet spices, stackt and onycha and galbanum, and pure frankincense with these sweet spices. There shall be equal amounts of each. You shall make of these an incense, a compound according to the art of the perfumer, salted, pure and set apart. And you shall beat some of it very fine, and put some of it before the testimony in the tabernacle of meeting where I will meet with you. It shall be most set apart to you. But as for the incense which you shall not make any for yourselves, according to its composition. It shall be to you set apart for YAHUAH. Whoever makes any like it to smell it, he shall be cut off from his people. Chapter 31. Then YAHUAH spoke to Moses, saying, See, I have called by name Bezalel the son of Uri, the son of Hur of the tribe of Judah. And I have filled him with the spirit of Elohim in wisdom, in understanding, in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship. To design artistic works, to work in gold and silver, in bronze. In cutting jewels for setting and carving wood, and to work in all manner of workmanship. And I have appointed with him Aholiab the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan. And I have put wisdom in the hearts of all the gifted artisans, that they may make all that I have commanded you. The tabernacle of meeting, the ark of the testimony, and the mercy seat that is on it, and all the furniture of the tabernacle. The table and its utensils, the pure gold lampstand with all its utensils, the altar of incense, the altar of burnt offering with all its utensils, and the laver and its base. The garments of ministry, the set-apart garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments of his sons to minister as priests. And the anointing oil and sweet incense for the set-apart place. According to all that I have commanded you they shall do. And YAHUAH spoke to Moses, saying, Speak also to the children of Yashar'al, saying, Surely my Sabbaths you shall guard. For it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that you may know that I am YAHUAH who purifies you. You shall guard the Sabbath, therefore, for it is set apart to you. Everyone who profanes it shall surely be put to death, for whoever does any work on it, that person shall be cut off from among his people. Work shall be done for 6 days, but the seventh is the Sabbath of rest, set apart to YAHUAH. Whoever does any work on the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death. Therefore the children of Yashar'al shall guard the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations as a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Yashar'al forever, for in 6 days YAHUAH made the heavens and the earth, and on the 7th day he rested, and was refreshed. And when he had made an end of speaking with him on Mount Sinai, he gave Moses 2 tablets of the testimony, tablets of stone written with the finger of Elohim. Chapter 32. Now when the people saw that Moses delayed coming down from the mountain, the people gathered together to Aaron, and said to him, Come, make us mighty ones that shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man who brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him. And Aaron said to them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, your sons and your daughters, and bring them to me. So all the people broke off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them to Aaron. And he received the gold from their hand, and he fashioned it with an engraving tool, and made a molded calf. Then they said, This is your mighty ones, O Yashar'al, that brought you out of the land of Egypt. So when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made a proclamation and said, Tomorrow is a feast to YAHUAH. Then they rose early on the next day, offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings, and the people sat down to eat and drink, and rose up to play. And YAHUAH said to Moses, Go get down. For your people whom you brought out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made themselves a molded calf and worshipped it, and sacrificed to it, and said, These be your mighty ones, O Yashar'al, that brought you out of the land of Egypt. And YAHUAH said to Moses, I have seen this people, and indeed it is a stiff-necked people. Now therefore, leave me alone, that my wrath may burn hot against them, and that I may consume them. And I will make of you a great nation. Then Moses pleaded with YAHUAH his Elohim and said, O YAHUAH, why does your wrath burn hot against your people whom you have brought out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand? Why should the Egyptians speak and say, He brought them out to harm them, to kill them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from your fierce wrath, and relent from this harm to your people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Yashar'al, your servants, to whom you swore by your own self and said to them, I will multiply your descendants as the stars of heaven, and all this land that I have spoken of I give to your descendants, and they shall inherit it forever. So YAHUAH relented from the harm which he said he would do to his people. And Moses turned and went down from the mountain, and the 2 tablets of the testimony were in his hand. The tablets were written on both sides, on the one side, and on the other they were written. Now the tablets were the work of Elohim, and the writing was the writing of Elohim engraved on the tablets. And when Yahushua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said to Moses, There is a noise of war in the camp. But he said, It is not the noise of the shout of victory, nor the noise of the cry of defeat, but the sound of singing I hear. So it was, as soon as he came near the camp, that he saw the calf and the dancing. So Moses' anger became hot, and he cast the tablets out of his hands and broke them at the foot of the mountain. Then he took the calf which they had made, burned it in the fire and ground it to powder, and he scattered it on the water, and made the children of Yashar'al drink it. And Moses said to Aaron, What did this people do to you, that you have brought so great a sin upon them? So Aaron said, Do not let the anger of my master become hot. You know the people, that they are set on evil. For they said to me, Make us mighty ones that shall go before us. As for this Moses, the man who brought us out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him. And I said to them, Whoever has any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it to me, and I cast it into the fire, and this calf came out. Now when Moses saw that the people were unrestrained, for Aaron had not restrained them, to their shame among their enemies, then Moses stood in the entrance of the camp and said, Whoever is on Yahuwah's side, come to me. And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together to him. And he said to them, Thus says Yahuwah Elohim of Yashar'al, Let every man put his sword on his side, and go in and out from entrance to entrance throughout the camp, and let every man kill his brother, every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. So the sons of Levi did according to the word of Moses. And about 3,000 men of the people fell that day. Then Moses said, Consecrate yourselves today to Yahuwah, that he may bestow on you a blessing this day, for every man has opposed his son and his brother. Now it came to pass on the next day that Moses said to the people, You have committed a great sin. So now I will go up to Yahuwah, perhaps I can make atonement for your sin. Then Moses returned to Yahuwah and said, Oh, these people have committed a great sin, and have made for themselves a mighty one of gold. Yet now, if you will forgive their sin, but if not, I pray blot me out of your book which you have written. And Yahuwah said to Moses, Whoever has sinned against me, I will blot him out of my book. Now therefore go, lead the people to the place of which I have spoken to you. Behold, my Moloch shall go before you. Nevertheless, in the day when I visit for punishment, I will visit punishment upon them for their sin. So Yahuwah plagued the people because of what they did with the calf which Aaron made.